Oh my god, we're back. Key of W, blueprints, etc. Okay. I'm excited. Let's get going. So this is day 3. Um, so yesterday was a really big day, and I would like to stress it's all 100% skill because I'm the greatest player ever. But we got two things. The first is the Westgate Path. We now can get around the grounds a little easier. There's an area we can get to every day, and we get an extra 20 steps. So now we start with 70, and we still have the start from last time. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually go outside, and we're going to check out this area. Because if we remember from yesterday, there is a room we can go into. So this is the way back to the garage, and just so you know, it is impassable. I mean, a real life person would just hop that, especially, someone as young and spry as Simon P. Jones. But this board doesn't go across until the garage is opened. So that's that. And here we go with the outer room. Last time we took root cellar, I think that ended up being kind of a mistake. It wasn't very useful for us. So the tool shed gives us 2 special items. The shrine, we can make an offering and receive a blessing, and the trading post has items for trade. We're not entirely sure what this does yet. This items for trade would suggest we need to be holding an item to use it. Let's start with the tool shed, 2 special items. Now what this means is that the items aren't going to be things like keys, gems, and coins. We're looking at real inventory items. So the metal detector, I don't know if you've had this yet. Greater chance of finding keys and coins. I really like the metal detector. And there's our magnifying glass again, so we can inspect documents of the estate more closely. So basically, for the cost of a few steps, we've gone and made sure we start our run with some very useful things. So what can we do with today? Let's make this day something important. We want to be making progress of any kind. Sure, it'd be nice to reach the antechamber, but I don't know if we yet have the ability to do this. I mean, we can with a good deal of drafting, skill, and luck, but chances are we're going to be going for something else. So let's just keep our eyes open for things we haven't done yet. So I don't think I want to start off with a dead end. Spare room is nice. It does push us into this corner, forcing us to find something like a parlor. I think I'm just going to take the parlor right away. This will be a good source of gems. This box and the white box are both empty. There is a second wind-up key in this room. That's false. The statement on the white box is true. That is also false. So this must be true. So it must be the blue box which has the gems. That one was an easy one. Watch as it's empty because I messed up. Nope. Got it. Gems are always good to have. Let me start actually with the entrance hall. Draft this so I can figure out what I'm doing here. Let's not put the den there. Let's put the spare room here, push this section out, and then try the right side. This is where I wanted the den. Let's not use the corridor. Now we know that doors get locked more often the further up we go. And so the special power of being left unlocked is really useful. So let's use the pantry right away. So it means we're not going to put stuff in this corner unless we get lucky, because we're already moving up. That is okay. We don't need to fill every spot. But if we can, we should, because it gives us more things to look at. This would waste one of the doors of the courtyard. This is a dead end. I'm going to waste something. What would I rather waste? A courtyard door? Or a hallway door? I think this is safer, because the hallway moves to the right, so we'd have to get something lucky here in order to continue. Whereas this, we can continue kind of anyway. So this is the easier thing to work with. And it has a shovel. So that actually worked out well for us. Old tin can. Looks like we always have digging spots in this room. And a coin. So we're pretty good on coins to start this run out. Let's see. Den is a waste here as well. Drawing room. All of these... So what the drawing room is going to do is it's going to help us go forward, but if we want to draft rooms here, we have to get quite lucky. Whereas this will allow us to go to this edge, but it does block us from forward progress. But if I do this, I don't have to worry about what to do out of the spare room. Either way, drafting something that heads west kind of wastes an exit. So would I rather go straight forward or would I rather go right? Going straight forward gets me closer to here, but the more rooms I draft in total, the more opportunities I have. And if I just make a beeline straight forward and I can't fill anything in on the side, then I have fewer opportunities. I'm going to risk it with this because I also want a gem. That was the other thing. I'd have to spend a gem, so that maybe it's a good thing I do this instead. I really could use a key as well. So let's see about this direction and doubling back. Cannot do that. It's a dead end no matter what I do. That's alright. Nothing to worry about. We just miss opportunities for rooms here. Let's get this because I do want a key. There's that chest thing again. Okay, this picture seems to be changing every time I enter the storeroom. So, yeah, these pictures are different every time. Let's keep an eye out for those things while I drink my spicy, spicy water. Okay. Let's see what I get here. If I'm lucky, I can make a double back thing. Chapel's not great. That is worse. This is alright. It makes the spare room a complete dead end, but that's okay. Brings us forward. We might be able to buy something in the kitchen. That does nothing at all. Yes, we've got this highway picture and this fishing rod. Alright, what do we got going forward? Commissary, no. This is the best option. I need to have multiple ways open. Okay, I'm starting to get pretty far into the mansion, so let's double back a bit after I see what we have for sale. So we can buy a banana for 2 coins. In fact, we can buy 5 bananas. There are 5 bananas on that bunch. Each banana is 3 steps, so 15 steps for 10. This is 15 steps for 8. This is 5 for every red room in the house. We don't have any red rooms in the house. I don't need anything yet, so I'm just going to, keep my eye on that and come back to the kitchen later when it comes time. Because we have a lot of steps. Ever since opening the orchard, we do not have to worry about steps at all. Let's see what we can get out of here. I would love to have passageway. Costs all my gems, and this is blocked off. This has the same number of exits. Yeah, I lose coins in the chapel, but I'm going to just suck it up and deal with it. The metal detector will help me find those coins again. Let's use the nook to go this way. It's going to make a dead end, but we want to find as many things as we can. So the nook's going to give us the key. Just making sure nothing else here. Hold on, I have the magnifying glass. Let's look for something. Ah, here. So this is our tip on how to use the darts game if you couldn't figure it out on your own. Order of operations moves from the center outward. This isn't quite true, we'll see with some later ones. Antechamber appears to be sealed by all 4 sides. There must be a way to open. Sinclair has many something secret that he will take to his grave. Okay. Okay, the office we haven't seen yet, but also it's all of my gems. Let's take the guest bedroom, because we're never going to come back to this dead end. So let's get our 10 steps and skedaddle. Nice, there's a key. So we're sitting pretty with keys right now. It's not, infinite. We will eventually run out if we run into a bunch of key doors in a row. Okay, I don't want a dead end here. Or do I? Because, no, let's take this and just hope for the best. Oh, this is someone from the family tree, but I don't remember. Okay, now we're kind of facing an end. Do I want the utility closet? The garage isn't necessary for me anymore. I've opened that up. The dark room I could, you know, turn it back on to get an item if I run into it later. The gymnasium, I don't know if I need this. Coat check. Check one item and retrieve it another day. I'm holding metal texture magnifying glass shovel, so I could put an item in here if I know the day's ending and I want to just get it back without having to look for it. But I'm not sure I want this here. This does kind of waste a spot, but I think I'm going to take it just so I have motion forward. Not my favorite choice here. There's the garage. It does have 3 keys. That is the thing about the garage. It has 3 keys. And that is good, but it does make a dead end here. This will just give me 2 items. The items could just be like a key and a gem. But keys are not the thing I need the most, but I also know that I could run into a bunch of locked doors. And so can I find a reliable way of getting keys? If I take this, though, I'm low on gems. That is the question. They're both dead ends here. This is not a dead end, but it just sort of prolongs the inevitable. And, you know, it's not locked, but it's probably nothing's going to be locked at this level anyway. I think this is going to be the dead end here. So I'm going to... what's the risk I should take? Lose a gem, have a ton of keys, but be sort of forced into rooms because I have no gems. Or, you know what? I'm going to take the closet. I'm going to do that. Ah, this is a good item. This is an ivory die. So while drafting, I can use that to roll new floor plans. So if I get drafts I don't like, I can just redo it. I don't waste any steps because of that. I do lose... Oh, there... Oh. Let's get those coins back. So now I can buy something from the kitchen because I do have to go that way. We're headed this way? Yeah, let's go to the kitchen. Let's buy... will I regret spending all my money here? You know what? I might. So let's draft this room and go to the right. Yes, I want to have this space open. So if I do this, I'm kind of locked in here. So I'm going to take the dining room. And then over here, I'm going to draft it. And I'm going to give myself... Okay, so these 2 are just busted. I don't want those. This is also busted. It's early to use the redraw, but I'm going to use the redraw here so I can get myself a second path. And this is where I get it. I get it in the commissary. And maybe I am happy I didn't spend my money on the steps because I can get some... Ah, okay. I can get some items I like. So magnifying glass I have. Ah, the reason it's in here as owned is because I found it elsewhere, but because I ordered it yesterday on the network, it was going to be here in the shop. So I can get a key. It's very expensive. I can also get a set of gems, which are also very expensive. I think I'm going to do just 1 gem. And then if I need more, I'll come back for more, but otherwise... Because, yeah, like a set of... Oh, a set of 4 gems are for 10. Because if I need food at the kitchen, I'm going to want to save my money. This is an automatic dead end, so is that. This prolongs the inevitable. And we're at the point which locked doors might start appearing. So I think I'll take this. And then I'm going to see if I can get a path to the left. Not really. This is not something I want. But in order to counteract this, I would need this one in existence already. But I can draft it and come back to it later. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to draft it. Or we're going to trigger it, so because that way the breaker box can flip. Because it needs to be triggered before the breaker box will actually affect it. So if I can get to rank 8, I'm going to get something here, which will be great. Let's head up here. I'll use a key here. And let's get a door that I like. Any of these are great. So the billiard room puzzle will get me keys, which I really want. This is useful, but like in the future. So the question is, do I think this run, this day has legs? If so, I want the keys now. if I think, I'm not getting to the antechamber today anyway, or whatever other goal I have in mind. I actually don't know at this point what any other goal could be. We did the two things, opened the west gate and the orchard. There's probably more, but we don't know what they are yet, so we can't know what to do. So maybe I say, chances are we don't fulfill a goal. Let's prep ourselves better for the future. This is a waste of my time. Do I want the keys or do I want this? I can easily get one of these two rooms again. So let's set myself up for the future, at the very least. And when we look at this telescope, we should get something else. With 2 stars, a pair of chests has been added to the entrance hall. That's not very helpful for us. We have 2 keys to open them, but we have to go all the way back there. It might be helpful, you know, if we don't have anything better to do, we could see if perhaps there's something. You know, it's always worth trying everything. Let's see if the door in the dining room is not locked. Security again, that could be useful. This is just but we can make the dark room not a problem anymore. It does sort of block all of this off. I don't like that. And I don't care enough about the dark room. This is probably the best choice. Just have the computer. There's no items on the table. Estate inventory. Yep, just the 2 trunks in the entrance. We found everything else so far. Keycard system. So since we don't have the keycard, what I want to do is set the security level to low because I don't want to see those doors. I'm going to set the offline mode to unlocked. There, as far as I know, is never a reason to set it to locked. I would need to then get the utility closet in order to turn them off, and if so, I would come back here and make the security level high. That's locked. Yeah, we're starting to run into issues with that. Patio goes the way I want. East Wing Hall is better. This costs a gem. I would get the gem back, but I would have to travel elsewhere. Do I have the shovel? I do. There's going to be digging spots in here. Because if I go down here, I could move this way, so I don't need this East Wing Hall here. So I could take the patio. There. Buried below. Occasionally you may discover small mounds of dirt in certain rooms of the state with a shovel. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything on there. If I'm very lucky, I'll find a key in one of these. I think you can find keys and coins, but not gems. Okay, that was a waste of everything. And you can find... is there anything else you can find? I think there's a couple other items you can find. There's not many. This uses the last gem in exchange for getting any type of... or any color room I want. Here's the billiard room I want. So we did get this. So this will give us the keys to make it much easier to travel. So let's take care of another one of these puzzles. So 16, that's easy. 5 plus 4 plus 3 is 12. 17 minus 9 minus 4 is 4. 12 minus 7 is 5 times 4 is 20. 6 minus 3 is 3 times 2 is 6. Cool, 2 keys. Exactly what we would be looking for. Okay, so both ways into there are locked. For funsies, let me see what is behind this, because I might find a room with goodies in it. I have plenty of keys at the moment. That's useless here. This, okay, we have 2 of these. Utility closet might actually prove useful. 4 items is definitely, but let's save our gems. Let's take the utility closet. Now the dark room has turned itself off. Let's turn it back on. Gymnasium, I don't see any reason why that should be on. Garage should be on. And let's turn off the keycard entry. Now if we see a keycard door, we can just slip right through it. We don't need the keycard. And let's turn the security up really high. So we should see a lot of those doors, fewer just regular locked doors. If we get the keycard itself, we could leave it like this. It's fine. Doesn't matter which door we go through to get there. They're both leading to the same place. Let's use a key. I just need it to bend to the left, otherwise we're screwed. Well, not completely. We can go through the dark room now. Still nothing in this room that I know of. Ooh boy, a lot of keys being used. We are now stuck with the bunk room. Alas, it happens. Perhaps if I was better at drafting, I might not have run into this, but I did. So let's take it. Well, we could have picked the walk-in closet, but it would have been our last gem, and I'd rather save those gems for when we have a chance. Anything else hidden around this bunk room? Oh, there's a hamster. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me reach in and pet you. Never mind. Okay. We got some cool stuff. We got a couple pawns in there. Lots of chess pieces in this game. A couple beds. There's a thing. Today is a good day because Simon is at camp and he is not as much fun as my friends. I will not have to share my toys, and I will not have to share my room, and I will not have to share my snacks. Having a younger brother is not as much fun as they told me it would be, but today will be a good day because he is at camp. Okay. Herbie is mean and really stupid, and today is a good day because I threw away his airplane. I also had more fun at camp than he has had in his entire life. Today is a good day because I got my brother in trouble for reading my private journal without my permission and writing mean things in it, too. He also threw my model airplane in the bushes outside, but I got it back, and if he does it again, he will not get to go to the park on Friday, and I will make sure he gets no presents for his birthday. I don't need any presents because I have my brother's book because he won't stop writing about me, and today is a good day because I know he cries when he can't find his book, even though he is older, he is a crybaby. Now there's a note here. Today is a good day because today my brother returns from college and I get to finally return to him the book I took from him a long, long time ago. Hopefully you find it as hilarious as I do. I honestly have no idea how we survived sharing a room. All things being said, I wouldn't have it any other way, but that's crossed out. And instead he types, I still would rather have had a sister. Congrats on the diploma and welcome home, Simon. So I guess he's writing about his brother Simon, and Simon is writing in red about Herbie. Now, I remember the book The Red Prince, talking about this kid who loves red, I wonder if this character writing is influenced by that book in some way, because everything's in red here. That would be Simon. My name is Simon, so is this me? Or is this a different Simon? Because there was another Simon Sinclair. But that book would be hella old if it was Simon Sinclair. Okay, well, we don't even get the special power of this because we didn't do anything about bedrooms. Oh well. Let us go all the way to the dark room. It's going to be a bit of a trip. We'll hit the commissary, not the commissary. Yeah. Do we want to hit the commissary and purchase anything? I have enough to buy a bunch of gems, which I think is better than the steps because I don't think we're going to be in a situation where the steps are going to kill us. So we're going to buy those. Yeah, a key would also be nice, but 1 key or 4 gems. You do the math. So we're going to take this and head back. This is the way? Yeah, this is the way. So not as productive a day as day 2, that is for sure, but still pretty good. Chapel doesn't do anything because I'm not heading the right way. It was the commissary. I'm so dumb. Oh no. Okay, that makes it worse because I am somewhat restricted on steps. Do I want to use keys on those? Because there could be keys inside, but there's no keys inside. I'm really screwed. And because I wasted all those steps, I'm now in a position where I really need to watch my step count and I don't have any more money for food. I would have had an extra 10 steps if I didn't do that silly, silly thing. This is where I wanted to go. Alright, there's going to be an item in here somewhere because we turned... Ah! That is very useful. So what'll happen is if this door is locked, instead of trying to use our key, we're going to press E to use the lockpick kit. It didn't work, so we will use our key. But it means we do have a chance if we're out of keys. Ah, and the foyer has hallway doors always be unlocked. The locksmith's not helpful. We need money for that. And the lavatory just ends our game, so we don't want to do that. Lord William Epson, Baron Thomas Sinclair, Major Nicholas Key, Major Key, huh? J. Arienna? What? Baron Edwin Sinclair. Count Isaac Gates. Sure, I'll count Isaac Gates. 1. There's only 1 Isaac Gates. Freezer. Freezes my accounts. Well, this is if I decide that this run is over. Coins and gems amounts will not reset at the end of the day. They cannot be adjusted or used till tomorrow. So if I decide the run is over and I do this, then tomorrow I'll start with these 3 gems, which is really nice. But it's giving up on the run when I'm so close to that antechamber. I won't make it to the dining room in the amount of steps I have left, I don't think. Right? Like if I do, I would have to do it with this and then run back. I would lose 2 steps. But I could potentially... Oh, right. I turned the gymnasium off. It doesn't work. And these are security doors, so I don't need keys. So let me get to... Oh, no. It has to be the archives. It's the only way to get up into the antechamber. While drafting, you will no longer be able to see all 3 of your potential floor plans. It's not the greatest thing I could have seen. Do I want to get the steps? Well, I have 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'll make it. If I don't forget the direction to go. So we'll get that. This is really cutting it close. It would not be cutting it so close if I was smarter, but alas. So the meal changes every day. Today's is the country stew pie, which gives us an additional 10 steps if we have a boiler room. We don't have a boiler room, but we do get the 20 steps, which is more than enough. I don't think I've ever gotten the bonus 10 steps in my entire play of this game. I don't think it's the hardest thing ever to get, but usually I see the 20 steps, I just take it, because in order to go get the extra 10, you usually have to spend more than 10. Whatever. I'm getting this just in case I need to make any other moves. And there's the antechamber, and wouldn't you know it, it's closed. Now, I did know this was going to happen, but still. This was the first big clue that the game was a lot larger than you thought it was when you were playing it the first time. You're thinking, I made it to the antechamber finally, but it's closed and there's no way to know what's in. There was that note in security, the lie that said the room was unlocked and no longer needs a lever, which means we got to find a lever somewhere, but we haven't seen hide nor hair of it. Let's take a look around here. We got some stuff here. Okay, a lot of reading, I'm sorry, coming up. From 1985, I guess, August 22nd, Marigold wins Herald Literary Honor. So we're in 1993, by the way. I believe it said at the very beginning of the game. And if not, I just gave that away. I forget where you first find out it's 1993. Oh, it's shown up in a few places. Marigold wins Herald Literary Honor. Popular children's writer Marian Marigold adds yet another feather to her scholastic cap when she discovered on Thursday that her picture book Swimbird had been chosen as the Herald Literary Medal Illustrated Book of the Year. This is Marigold's second time winning this prestigious honor. The previous medal was, of course, for her debut effort. She was no stranger to the public eye even before her literary success, the niece and closest living relation of Baron H.S. Sinclair. Mary began using Marigold as a pen name to free her from the political associations that one might make with the Sinclair family. She looks familiar, too. About half a year later, Swimbird author never considered herself a success. By Gail Hermes, she confided, "My son was the one that actually got me to start writing. I'd always challenged myself to never tell him the same story twice at bedtime, and so as we ran out of books we owned, my imagination to take over from there." Marigold has elaborated in previous interviews that her debut book, Red Prince, is based on her son and his inflexible love of the color red, a statement that has been held with much skepticism by the many pundits that viewed that book as rather thinly veiled political critique of the Royalist Party and their unwavering blind loyalty to the throne. Well, we didn't catch any of that in our first read, but we are unfamiliar with the politics of this world. Also, her son... The Red Prince is about her son, Mary. She looks familiar. She changed her name because her name is either Mary Sinclair or she married... No, she's the niece, which means that Baron's sibling's child. And we saw in the family tree that the Baron Herbert Sinclair is brothers with Simon Sinclair, who had a child, Mary Epson, who changed it, I guess, to Marian Marigold. So Mary Epson is the one. Cool. Publisher and author detained by Red Guard questioned. Caleb Manning and his publisher Philip White were 2 of 3 dozen names that appeared on a leaked dossier, naming them a person of interest in the Trinsdale bombing that killed 4 people last Tuesday. Although no group has come forth to officially take responsibility of the attack, it is widely believed by authorities to be the work of the insurgent group RLCF. RLCF, I wonder if that's important, who also called themselves the Children of Black Water. Ruffington Press was quick to dismiss the rumors in a statement released on Friday, maintaining that the popular author and Mr. White were simply victims of an unfortunate happenstance, whatever that means. This would not be the first time that the publishing house has defended a rogue employee. 3 years ago, an associate editor with the company was arrested for criminal conspiracy, though the charges were later dropped. Marigold drops publisher. Local author, popular personality Marion Marigold has announced a split with her long-term publishing partner, Ruffington Press, citing personal reasons. The announcement came after the arrest last week of fellow author and colleague Caleb Manning, whom Marigold has past referred to as her mentor, friend, and confidant. Marigold is the 3rd prominent writer to distance themselves from the publisher this week. Manning and White, don't know who's who. Something was seen at the corner, suspicious bag under waved down local. This is the 3rd major last year. Is anticipate charged by the Crown. Manning was the last. The trial begins. Grand treason. Something going on there. No traces discovered of Cinca heiress, but search continues. Mary Matthew Jones, the author and illustrator whose fanciful stories are written under the pen name Marion Marigold, was last seen by a close friend around 3:45 p.m. Friday, getting into a carriage after a late luncheon date at the 100 Bells Tea Room in Trinsdale. Mrs. Jones never arrived at home, and the carriage driver cannot be located. Family and local authorities are very concerned, but have not deemed the case foul play. It's an out-of-character incident at this point. We are seeking information. Okay, before I move on from that, 87, Mary Matthew Jones. Explicitly said in the beginning of the game, Marion Jones is Sinclair's niece, and I am Simon P. Jones, her son. So Mary Epson is Mary Matthew Jones, and she's my mom. And this game takes place in 1993, so 1987 would be 6 years before. So 6 years ago, I lost my mother. So she seems to be just gone. Also, Mary Marigold wrote these books, Red Prince We've Read, and it was apparently about her son, that's me. It could be about her other son, Herbert, as we read from the book in the bunk room. But since Simon, myself, I was the one writing in all red, Red Prince is about me. That's what it is. So I'm the one who used to love the color red. Priceless jewels stolen in dramatic Royal Museum heist. Thieves in the royal capital of Fen Ares have broken into one of the Crown's fabled closed exhibits. These lavish rooms have historically been reserved exclusively for the use of the aristocracy and high peerage, and access has never been granted to those outside noble circles. At least not until today, as local police and forensic experts have been spotted in virtually every corner of the museum grounds dredging for clues. Get that out of the way. The museum authorities said they were alerted in the middle of the night by reports of several masked intruders that seen breaching the south wall and brandishing firearms. The intruders broke into the museum, subdued the royal guard, and disabled the security system. By the time the militia arrived on the scene, the burglars had simply vanished. Although an official registry of the lost jewels has not been publicly announced, among the treasured artifacts rumored to be stolen is the renowned ruby crown of Orinda Ares. Orinda. Is that the name of the statue that the gardener wanted to remove? Orinda Ares, the priceless crown jewel whose material worth pales in comparison to the historic value. If the rumors are true, the evidence may suggest that theft was politically motivated. So a ruby crown stolen with a bunch of jewels. And that's it. Ooh, that's a lot of information there. I wonder what will be useful when. Okay, so now we see what happens when we use the archives. This room we can't see. When we click on it, we'll find out what we get. So this is a dead end anyway, so let's use it. What do we get? Have we seen this before? No, this is a workshop. Combine inventory to create new items. Oh hey, there's a broken lever again. We saw that last time. So we can mix and match items here, see what we get. If I take the shovel and the magnifier, shovel and metal detector work, and so this would make a detector shovel. Shovel and broken lever requires something else, so I can't make that. Magnifying glass and metal detector makes a burning glass. Oh. Metal detector can go with a lockpick, make pick sound amplifier. I have 3 options for items. Which one should I do? It's kind of moot. I can't really do anything else this run, I don't think. Let's see what I do with the lockpick, because it seems like maybe this improves it. Lockpick plus metal detector. I'm going to make a pick sound amplifier. Because, of course, I lose this item at the end of the day, too, so... But it's good to know what it does, so I can try to get this room back. Greater chance of picking high sensitivity locks. I don't know what that means. Maybe it means the lockpick works. It's like an improved lockpick or something. So the antechamber's all... We're not going to get anything from that. So let's try. Pick sound. Yeah, we did it. Boiler room. If I had that before, I'd have more steps. It's a power source. This day is already pretty much done. Do I want to prolong it by trying to do this? Or do I want the mail room? Let's go to the mail room. It's a dead end, I know, but we're not getting anywhere else, so let's get an order for tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? The day after drafting this room. I think that means the next time I make the mail room. I don't think it has to be tomorrow. We got some more pictures here. These look like the type... Yeah, there's always two of them. Note from Dad, from Fen Aries to Simon P. Jones. It's me. Hey, buddy. How's it going up there in that big house? I think most people would be pretty scared being alone for this length of time, but I have a feeling you're doing just fine. I imagine you happy as a clam, perfectly content on the estate with the exploration and opportunities for adventure that present themselves each day. As I'm writing this, you're currently in the garage packing the tent. I wanted to try to post this letter before we depart tomorrow so that it has a chance to arrive during your first few days on the estate, but with all the preparations, I'm not sure that I'm going to find the time. There's so much I want to say, and I'm sure I'll forget to tell you Friday night. Sometimes it's easier for me to just jot this stuff down. You're yelling at me right now to come bring you a pillowcase. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. I can tell you're really excited, but I think you might feel a little guilty about being so happy the day after the funeral. Believe me, I know how long Uncle Herbert worked on setting this up for you, and I know from our conversations just how much happiness this final project brought him. So do both of us a favor. Be excited. Excuse me, I can read. The house really is amazing. I know it's been almost 7 years since we were last up there, and I'm really curious to hear just how much you remember from those summer trips. You've always been smarter than me at this kind of thing, so I'm not sure how much guidance or inspiration I can offer before your trip that will actually be useful to you. Despite my best intentions, I'm sure that on Friday I'll end up leaving you with a few of my overused cliche expressions when we say farewell. Later, alligator, Dad. P.S. Get some sleep each night and don't spend all your time each day playing Dirigiblocks. Okay. That's nice, but as far as I'm aware, there's not a clue there. If there is a clue, I don't know what it is. Bunch of mailboxes. Oh, here's some stuff. Please return all correspondence and packages addressed to Denny Ravane to sender, as he no longer employed with our staff. Something there. Did they ever prove he was the one that stole the Baron's mail? Denny Ravane, huh? Utility room fuse box. More detailed instructions will be sent by electronic mail to the address client has provided. And as we learned yesterday, you can only access your electronic mail from the office. But we press any button to activate... so if we have all greens and we make blue, press a blue indicator next to a red to activate purple. 5 purple indicators are needed to activate the 6th. So I want to make 6 purple indicators, but there's more instructions. Can I make it back there? To the utility closet? I don't think so. How many steps I got? I've got 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can, in fact, make it back. How important is it that I make it back, since I don't have full instructions? Let me see what I can get from this room. Let's try this. Well, got the lavatory. Okay, I guess the only thing I can do is look at the utility box. So I guess the utility room is way more important than I kind of gave it credit for in the first couple days. Huh. Yeah, we'll make it. So we want all of them green to make blue? Oh, hold on. Blue next to red makes purple. Okay, I got all the purples. So nothing's happened, so clearly this is not the end of the puzzle. I'm going to have to check the electronic mail in the office, which we didn't even get this time around because it costs 2 gems, so I keep on skipping it. But I guess we need to get the office at least once. So we didn't get a new thing permanently today. We got another star from the observatory, which is nice. But the biggest thing we got is now we know there's a puzzle here we can solve if we get the office. We know the antechamber is going to require some extra juice to open because we got there, but it was completely blocked off. And then we have ordered a package for the mailroom, so we want to make sure that we have a mailroom tomorrow. So that's good. That means we actually had a pretty good day. We got a very, very full mansion. Yeah, so I think I'm going to call it a day here. Yeah, most days aren't really going to go anywhere if you're thinking about a singular objective. But if you're looking, with an open mind, you'll find a lot. We also got a ton of story information that may or may not prove useful later. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I know to all 100,000 of my fans, you're clamoring for this. I don't know when I'll record more of this stuff, but I want to do it soon because I really, really love this game, and it's taking up all of my free thought. Like, I basically go to work, I come home, and just think about this game. So I will be back very shortly with the next video. Thank you much. Bye.